Now, as you dive into the co-main event, another Australian fighter, Jack Jenkins, right? This guy comes uh, with a lot of support behind him. He's 13-4. He's taken on Taveras, who's 10-3. He's from America. Jenkins, the favorite, as most of the Australian fighters are, right around 3-1 at the time of this podcast. Of course, that can change, as we've seen in the Jimmy Crute fight, or not in Jimmy Crute, but Jake Matthews. So those odds can definitely change. We'll see how it goes. But right now, it's like 3-1 for Jenkins. But does that hold up? We don't always go with the favorite. We do not always go with the favorite. So let's jump into this one right now. In the featherweight division at UFC Perth, you got Jack Jenkins taking on Ramon Taveras. This is your co-main event. Jenkins from Australia, 13-4, so he'll be the favorite in terms of the crowd anyway. Taveras 10-3 from America. Taveras 1 inch taller at 5'8". They're both 31. Taveras 2-inch reach advantage. Taveras fights southpaw or left hand, where Jenkins is a switch stance fighter. Both guys about 4.5 significant strikes per minute, but Jenkins lands like 2 takedowns or just shy of that, but 2 takedowns on average per 3 rounds. He also has a 67% takedown defense. Taveras has 100% takedown defense, so more on that in a second. Jenkins lost to Gabriel Santos by submission last time out. Beat Herbert Burns, a good fighter, by KO. Lost to Chepe Mariscal by KO, and then before that, won 2 in a row in the UFC against Jamal Emmers and Don Shainis. So still trying to figure him out. Lost, 2 of the last 3. Taveras lost to Davey Grant by decision. Beat Sergey Sadeh, split decision. Who knows how? He trailed by 17 significant strikes, so that came down to round by round. Beat Cortavius Romeus by first round KO and lost to Sergey Sadeh at the Contender Series by KO. So that's interesting. So Taveras loses to Sadeh by KO at the Contender Series, then faces him again, which is wild because usually when you get KO by someone that quick, you don't get a second shot at them for a while, but came back and beat him. So that shows his toughness. Ramon Taveras is going to be a tough fighter, but I'm not going against Jack Jenkins, especially at home, especially when he lands 2 takedowns over 3 rounds. I think it's going to be a little bit harder on him here, and there's no doubt Ramon Taveras is going to fight well, defend the takedowns. If he can keep the fight standing, those odds come way back down to even. So that's the key for Taveras and something to keep an eye on. But I think Jack Jenkins will break through, win 2 rounds out of 3 in a close fight, in my opinion, to move to 14-4 here, featherweight division, UFC Perth. Yeah, we don't always go with the favorite, but this time we got to, right? And it just continues with the fact that I think Australia is going to have a big night up and down this card. Because when you look at things, it's just set up that way. So we like Jack Jenkins to go in there and get the win. I'd like to see him get the finish. I'd love to see him get the finish so we can roll into the main event on a high note.